Welcome back, everyone. It's time for another deep dive. And today,
Ooh, fun.
we're tackling something we can all relate to,
Yeah,
becoming better versions of ourselves. You've given us a really interesting mix of sources,
for sure.
articles, blog posts,
I even saw a Reddit thread in there.
even a Reddit thread, all focused on personal growth.
What's fascinating to me is this desire for self-improvement. It seems to be a common thread across cultures and time periods,
Okay, let's unpack this. Why do we even strive to be better?
right?
Is it for ourselves? For others?
Yeah.
Maybe a bit of both? And with so many approaches out there, where do we even begin?
Well, some argue that this drive to grow, to learn, to reach our full potential, it's inherent to our nature. Others suggest it's more about our social nature. We strive to be better to improve our relationships, contribute to society, or simply be seen as a good person.
It's likely a combination of factors, but regardless of the why, it's clear from these sources that people are actively seeking ways to improve themselves. So where do we even begin this deep dive?
Well, multiple sources emphasize gratitude as a foundational element. It's more than just feeling thankful, it's a practice.
I like that.
And you know what's really interesting? One article suggests a specific technique called GIFT, where you actively look for instances of growth, inspiration, friends and family, tranquility, and surprise each day.
That's really cool. I can see how that would shift your perspective. And get this, research shows gratitude can reduce stress, improve sleep, and even benefit your heart health.
Wow.
One study found that practicing gratitude for just 2 weeks led to a 25% decrease in stress hormones. Who knew being thankful could be so good for you?
It really speaks to the interconnectedness of our mental, emotional, and physical well-being. Another recurring theme in these sources is self-awareness.
Yeah.
Several experts highlight the importance of honesty, self-reflection, and addressing weaknesses.
One expert suggests a thought experiment. If you had a magic wand, what would your ideal future look like? I love that idea. It forces you to clarify your goals and values, what truly matters to you.
And are you living in alignment with those values? That's a provocative question for you to consider.
The good one.
It can be quite uncomfortable to confront that, but that discomfort can be a catalyst for growth.
Absolutely. Now, on a more practical level,
Yep.
what are some actionable steps we can take today to become better people?
Well, embracing change is a big one, even if it feels scary.
Yeah, for sure.
One article suggests making a bucket list of things outside your comfort zone and tackling them one by one. Another simple but impactful action is practicing random acts of kindness. Studies show this boosts happiness and gratitude. It's a win-win.
And don't underestimate the power of positive self-talk. Replace those negative thoughts with facts plus optimism. Focus on what you can control, and choose to view challenges as opportunities for growth.
One source also suggests trying mindful eating, even if just for one meal. It's a mini meditation that can help reduce stress and increase your awareness of your body's signals.
This wouldn't be a deep dive into self-improvement without addressing the things that hold us back, right? Anger seems to be a common culprit in these sources.
One article provides a deep dive into recognizing anger triggers and techniques for managing it. It emphasizes the importance of understanding the root cause of your anger, rather than just suppressing it. Another crucial aspect is forgiveness, both of yourself and others.
Forgiveness can be incredibly difficult, but it's essential for moving forward. Holding on to anger and resentment only hurts you in the long run.
One blogger shares a powerful personal story about learning to accept failure. It's a perspective we don't often hear. But embracing the inevitability of failure can actually reduce its sting and help you learn faster.
They have a great analogy. Think of life like skiing. You will fall, so learn to fall well and get back up quickly.
I love that. It perfectly captures the resilience needed for personal growth. Now, speaking of resilience, let's talk about relationships. They can be both a source of strength and a major stressor.
So true. Good relationships can be a haven from stress, but conflict can make them a significant source of anxiety and frustration. What's the key to navigating this complex terrain?
Learning conflict resolution skills, things like active listening, and understanding different perspectives are essential for being a better person and having stronger relationships. One blogger made an intriguing observation. They noticed how honesty and reflection attracted good people, but repelled those not interested in personal growth.
It makes you wonder, who in your life embraces those qualities? And are you that person for others?
Those are powerful questions to reflect on.
Okay, as we wrap up this first part of our deep dive, let's talk about the long game of self-improvement.
Becoming a better person takes time and effort, It's not a quick fix.
One article mentions the stages of change model, recognizing that progress isn't always linear and setbacks are normal. It's easy to get discouraged when you slip up. But those setbacks are simply part of the process. And remember, it's never too late to change. Every day is a new opportunity to become a better version of yourself.
What one expert found fascinating is that one of the bloggers had a unique approach. They talked about incorporating what they called Bitcoin risks into their personal growth journey, short-term actions that have the potential for big long-term payoffs.
What an interesting idea. I wonder if those risks always pay off, though. And what if being better is different for each of us? What does better even mean to you? We'll explore some of these questions as we continue our deep dive into becoming a better person.
Picking up on your thought about what better even means, it's important to acknowledge that this concept of being a better person can be quite subjective.
Yeah, you're right. What one person considers good, another might see as bad.
Exactly. And that's where things get really interesting, because it forces us to examine our own values and beliefs. What are the underlying principles that guide our actions and shape our definition of goodness?
One expert argues there's no point in ranking people's worth. Instead, we should focus on what makes society just and equitable, allowing everyone to thrive.
That's a really compelling argument. It shifts the focus from individual betterment to creating a system that supports the well-being of all. It reminds us that our actions have ripple effects. We're all interconnected, and what we do impacts those around us. Speaking of those ripple effects, one source highlights the importance of being user-friendly in our relationships.
User-friendly, what a great phrase. What does that even look like, though?
Essentially, it means being easy to get along with, being considerate, respectful, and responsive to the needs of others. It reminds me of the idea of emotional intelligence, being able to understand and manage your own emotions, while also being sensitive to the emotions of others.
It sounds like a recipe for fewer conflicts.
You're right. And this ties in beautifully with the concept of conflict resolution. When you're able to approach disagreements with empathy and understanding, you're more likely to find mutually beneficial solutions.
Okay, but let's talk about some of the potential pitfalls on this journey of self-improvement. As we said earlier, it's not always easy.
One source cautions against falling into the trap of virtue signaling, talking about being good without actually doing good.
Like posting about a cause on social media,
Yeah,
but not actually taking any concrete action.
precisely. It's a form of self-deception, and it can actually hinder our growth because it allows us to feel good about ourselves without actually putting in the work.
Right. Talk is cheap, as they say. Another pitfall that comes to mind is the tendency to compare ourselves to others. It's so easy to get caught up in the highlight reels of other people's lives and feel inadequate.
Especially in the age of social media. That comparison often leads to envy, insecurity, and self-doubt. It's a recipe for feeling worse, not better.
One blogger shared this reminder. One man's rejection is another man's opportunity. What a perspective shift. It reminds us that even when we experience setbacks, it doesn't mean we're not worthy or capable.
Exactly. It just means that particular opportunity wasn't meant for us, and it might open the door for someone else who needs it more.
I needed to hear that.
And speaking of rejection and setbacks, it's crucial to remember that not all stars will align in our relationships. Sometimes, no matter how much effort we put in, some people just aren't meant to be in our lives.
That's hard to accept, especially for those of us who are people pleasers.
But it's an important lesson to learn. Clinging to relationships that are no longer serving us can drain our energy and prevent us from forming healthier connections. One source highlighted the importance of recognizing those leaking boats and having the courage to disembark. It's about setting boundaries and prioritizing our own well-being.
So true. Okay, shifting gears a bit. What about the role of fear in personal growth? It often holds us back from taking risks and stepping outside our comfort zones.
One blogger gave this advice: be afraid, but don't wet yourself.
I love it. So simple, yet so profound.
It reminds us that fear is a natural human emotion, but it doesn't have to control us. It's about acknowledging the fear, but not letting it paralyze us. And here's a great analogy from one source. No ship was built for the harbor. We're not meant to stay stagnant. We're meant to explore, to venture out into the unknown, even if it's scary.
It really speaks to that idea of human plasticity, the belief that we're not fixed beings and are capable of change and growth.
It's a powerful concept because it gives us hope. No matter where we are in our lives, we can always choose to become better. One blogger recounted their own journey of transformation. From self-obsessed careerist to a more mindful and compassionate person.
Oh, that's inspiring. It highlights the importance of actively engaging with life's challenges and using those experiences as opportunities for growth and self-discovery. And as we continue to explore this theme of becoming a better person, it's important to remember that there's no one-size-fits-all approach. Each individual's journey will be unique, and there will be times when we feel lost, confused, or even discouraged.
Absolutely. That's why it's crucial to have a support system, people we can turn to for guidance, encouragement, and a healthy dose of reality checks. One blogger uses a great analogy to describe the process of seeking advice. They compare it to gathering ingredients for a cake.
You mean we need to collect a variety of perspectives and insights?
Yes, but ultimately, it's up to us to decide which ingredients to use and how to bake our own unique cake. And speaking of baking cakes, or rather navigating life's challenges, it's important to remember that pain and failure are inevitable parts of the human experience.
Right, we're going to mess up, we're going to fall down,
Yeah,
and things are going to get tough.
that's okay, because it's in those moments of struggle that we learn the most. One source reminds us that pain is pain, love is love, happiness is happiness.
Meaning those emotions will exist at all levels of life.
Yes, we won't magically transcend pain or suffering just because we achieve success or reach a certain level of betterment. It's about learning to find joy and contentment in the present moment, regardless of our circumstances.
There's a powerful story in one of these sources about the crew of explorers stranded in the Antarctic. Despite facing unimaginable hardship, they found moments of happiness and fulfillment in the simplest of things.
What a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. It's a great reminder that happiness isn't something we find, it's something we create.
So as we wrap up this second part of our deep dive, we've explored the complexities of defining goodness. We've acknowledged the potential pitfalls and challenges along the way.
And we've emphasized the importance of embracing change, accepting failure, and finding joy in the present moment. As we move into the final part of our deep dive, we'll bring it all together. What are the key takeaways from all these different perspectives? And what practical steps can we implement to become the best versions of ourselves?
Okay, we are back for the final part of our deep dive into becoming better people. And honestly, I'm feeling pretty inspired after all that, but also maybe a bit overwhelmed. There's so much to consider.
I get that. We've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive, but that's the nature of personal growth, isn't it? It's an ongoing journey, not a destination.
So true. As we synthesize all these different perspectives, what are the key takeaways for you? What really stands out?
Well, one thing that's become crystal clear is that becoming a better person is a multifaceted process.
Okay.
It involves our thoughts, our actions, our relationships, and even our environment.
It's about cultivating certain habits and mindsets while also being aware of the pitfalls and challenges along the way and remembering that progress isn't always linear. There will be setbacks, but those setbacks are opportunities for learning and growth.
It's like that skiing analogy we talked about. You're going to fall, but it's about getting back up and learning to fall better next time.
Yeah.
And I know one of the most important things we can do is cultivate self-awareness.
That has come up again and again in these sources. It seems like a foundation for everything else.
It really is, because without self-awareness, it's impossible to identify the areas where we need to improve.
Okay, but how do we actually do that? How do we become more self-aware?
One simple but effective practice is journaling. Taking a few minutes each day to reflect on your thoughts, feelings, and actions can help you identify patterns and areas for growth. Another powerful tool is feedback. Asking trusted friends, family members, or mentors for their honest perspectives can give you valuable insights into your blind spots.
Ooh, that can be tough, but probably really helpful in the long run.
It is, and it's important to be open to that feedback, even if it's not what you want to hear. Sometimes the truth hurts, but it's ultimately what sets us free.
Okay, so once we have a better understanding of ourselves, what's next?
Then we can start to set specific goals for improvement, whether it's working on your anger management skills, practicing more gratitude, or strengthening your relationships.
Making it concrete, I like it.
And it's important to make those goals actionable, breaking them down into small, manageable steps that you can implement in your daily life. One source suggests using the SMART goals framework, where goals are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound.
That's a good system.
It's a great way to ensure that your goals are actually attainable and that you're making progress. In addition to setting goals, it's also essential to create an environment that supports your growth.
So our surroundings matter too.
Absolutely. This might involve surrounding yourself with positive people and limiting your exposure to negativity. It could also mean creating a physical space that feels calming and inspiring, like decluttering your home or creating a cozy reading nook.
Ooh, I like that. I've been meaning to reorganize my bookshelf.
And don't forget the importance of self-care. You can't pour from an empty cup.
Right. We need to take care of ourselves to be able to take care of others.
Exactly. It's about prioritizing your physical, emotional, and mental well-being so you have the energy and resilience to show up as your best self.
This has been such an eye-opening deep dive. I feel like I have a whole new toolbox for personal growth.
Me too. And as we wrap this up, I think it's important to remember that becoming a better person isn't about achieving perfection.
It's about progress, not perfection, right?
Exactly. It's about embracing the journey with all its ups and downs. It's about striving to be a little bit better each day, even if it's just in small, seemingly insignificant ways, because those small changes add up over time, and they have a ripple effect, not just on your own life, but on the lives of those around you.
That's a beautiful thought. So to everyone listening, be kind to yourself, be patient, and remember, you are capable of amazing things.
This has been a truly insightful deep dive. Thank you for sharing these incredible sources with us.
And to you, our listener, thank you for joining us on this journey of exploration. We hope you've gained some valuable insights and inspiration along the way.
Remember, even small steps can make a big difference. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep striving to be the best version of yourself.
Until next time.